Welcome back inside Crestwood Preparatory College here in North York, Ontario. Daniele Franceschi joining you alongside the one and only Mike Dotto.
Oh yeah.
Director of Video Production for North Pole Hoops. And we apologize for the technical difficulties. We were having some technical glitches that we were working through, and this game underway between Halifax Prep and Crestwood Prep, the host Crestwood squad, 3-0 to the first day and a half of action. And there you see the man who's been turning heads through the first couple of days. It's Brandon Muntu as he buries the triple. And Mike, obviously a fantastic event. This is a session number 2 for this NPA season, the New Year Challenge. One thing we wanted to have you on so you could discuss briefly in your capacity as Director of Video Production, what are some of the things that we do here at MPH in terms of our content pool that really separates this league from the rest of the prep circuit?
Well, first off, I'm glad to be here, Daniele.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on here.
This is different.
This is fun. For sure. I'm always behind the scenes, always, doing things behind and on the computer. But already you can tell, the live broadcast. That's what we bring to this league. It's at a very high level. We have yourself calling it. We have Jason Tom calling it. Great guys, Tristan back there on the back end putting it together. We have our video crew out here, and you know what? We try to take things to another level. And we're constantly learning, we're constantly striving to make that better for us. And so the live broadcast is one thing. We actually have a whole bunch of mic'd ups that we do to really get inside the mind of the player and give that backstage presence, that behind the scenes feel that I think everybody craves for. And we had a great one with Franco Miller yesterday. And just going off, chirping people, but you can tell that he's a leader. And you can tell that he really feeds off what Coach Ro Russell says to him.
Absolutely.
Right? And but yeah, there's a lot of things there, along with mixtapes and player profiles when it comes to graphics and coaches inside huddles. But again, that's what we try to do with this league. And I don't think anything in Canada right now resembles this. And we're only getting started. There's so much more that we can do. And as in my capacity as Director of Video Production for North Pole Hoops and MPA, we're going to strive for the best.
In addition to some of the, people may recognize your voice because in addition to some of the work you do, in terms of the video production side of things and editing and things of that nature, just being in charge of the entire video team here at NPH, you're also the resident voice of North Pole Hoops, right?
Oh, back in the day.
In Canadian basketball.
Should I go ahead and just say it right now?
Let's do it. Come on.
Okay, ready? Leaders in Canadian basketball.
Oh, wow. That is...
So that's back in 2011 when Tark and I, we were first discussing this. He's like, Mike, I need an intro. I need something that just gives us a little bit of oomph. I love your voice. I'm like, okay, thanks for my voice, okay. He goes, but I want it deeper. I go, okay. He goes, this is what I want to say, and I said it. He goes, leaders in Canadian basketball, and he just fell in love with it.
And for a while, that was the rolling.
Yeah,
right
that was it. It was NPH.
Yeah.
Leaders, and then still people, they come up to us and they go, oh yeah, NPH, leaders in Canadian basketball, and they point at me, or they're like, yeah, sick intro. They didn't know it was me.
And I didn't know, and to be honest, I mean, for the first, we did a handful of events, and I didn't know, and then I think you mentioned it once, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't.
No.
It doesn't translate. I'm like, wow, I'm really surprised. That's a skill. That's a skill.
You know what? The voiceovers, I've always enjoyed doing it, changing the voice. You can tell in some of our promos, you'll see in our commercials here, I do the voiceover for that as well. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun doing the voiceovers, doing the editing, doing the mixes, getting to know some of these players personally afterwards when you do the mixes, the coaches. There's so many good people in this Canadian basketball sport here, and it's just, I'm really enjoying the role that I've been put in from Tarek and Elias. And like I said, this is just the beginning. We're, as we always say, Elias, if you're listening, just scratching the surface.
Yes,
and,
always.
Regardless of what we do, we're just scratching the surface. So.
Regardless of the growth, and I'm always scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Well, I would consider myself a product of the school of Mike Dotto in many ways, right? We're talking about having been involved for quite some time, and now obviously evolving and getting into the broadcast side of things and being on commentary and doing some play-by-play work and color with Jason Tom over the past couple of days.
How was that with Jason Tom?
Oh, excellent.
How's the...
JT, special guy.
Yeah.
Special guy, deserves a lot of credit for what he does and the work he puts in for this, for the NPA, for the basketball community as a whole. And
Yeah.
we've had some great conversations on the air the past couple of days.
I think it strives to passion. And when you're
Absolutely.
passionate about something, you could talk about it for hours and days and months on end and talk it with so much integrity. And that's what makes you guys special, and you guys connect perfectly on the path. And I think you have a very bright future when it comes to broadcasting. And I know Jason will help you get to where you need to be. And it's just scratching the surface, my friend. Scratching the surface.
Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. As there's a foul, and it's Franco Miller who'll be going to the free throw line for Crestwood. A tight one so far here in the first quarter, about midway through, and Halifax Prep holding their own against one of the better teams we've seen over the past couple days here. And it's been a jam-packed schedule for Crestwood. They're actually heading out again tomorrow. They're participating in another tournament, so they have a whole slate of games scheduled this week, including these 4 here that they're playing over the course of the past couple days for the NPA schedule. But one of the things we also wanted to discuss, and I wanted to mention, I mean, there's Jacoby Neath throwing down the one-handed hammer and a timeout. Hold that thought. We'll be right back after this short break. It's Mike Dotto, Daniele Franceschi. Don't you go anywhere.
We've traveled across the country and back. 6 years running. Canada's basketball talent blossoms right before our eyes. From coast to coast. It's our job to bring it to the light. No gimmicks, just hard work on the hardwood. Who will step up to the plate this summer? Who will make their game undeniable and challenge every man in front of him? Game will speak.
NPH events. There's an opportunity to get involved at the ground level. NPH hosts elite level high school tournaments to national club team championships throughout the course of the season. Now is your chance to get involved with the fastest growing sport in Canada with the industry leaders and influencers. Get in the game today and join NPH in growing basketball in this country.
Welcome back inside Crestwood Preparatory College. 12-11 in favor of the host, Crestwood Lions. This being their 4th game of the week. And here's Jacoby Neath. Oh, get in there. Rims out. He's fouled on his way to the basket. Joined by Mike Dotto, Director of Video Production for North Pole Hoops.
Love it.
And Mike, this Halifax Prep squad earlier today, it's their inaugural season on the NPA circuit. They picked up their first win in program history, and it was spectacular, a solid all-around performance in a win over St. Laurent. A program like this, because RNS is another school that is now in its 2nd year. There's been a lot of growth, but you look at a Halifax Prep team like this, what did it mean for them to win that game this afternoon?
Well, honestly, I was actually videotaping that last part of it. I was taking over for one of our camera guys, and I got into the huddle, and they were so amped and saying, you know what, boys, we're this close, let's do it. Let's do it for the East Coast. And you can see them, they're just like, yeah, this is for the East Coast, we're gonna do it. And I think whenever you talk to somebody or just play against somebody from that side of Canada, it's so much pride. And they really just, how can I say it, just love being that part of Canada, and they just really just wanted to prove that Halifax is here, and this is what they're doing, and they're finally gelling together, which is huge.
The Maritimes well represented in the NPA with not just Halifax Prep, but RNS, who they themselves have been very impressive over the past couple days here up in North York. And
they're recruiting, which is great now.
Absolutely.
Like you're getting a Shaheem Malcolm coming.
a kid that really stands out and has played particularly well over the course of the past a couple days is Brandon Muntu, and
Yep.
he's from Calgary.
Yep.
And
We saw him
so
in our showcase this week.
he comes from a background where in Calgary we're not talking about the prep programs, and it's not this burgeoning landscape the same way we have here in Ontario. And so he comes over, he makes that decision to migrate, uproot himself, and he's been performing at a high level for this team.
Yep. No, for sure. And we scouted him back in the summer when we saw him at our showcase. And you know, the fact is, there's not a prep team right now. You know, I'm going to do it in quotations because things are happening. You know, we this is a league that grew from, what was it, 9 last year to 13 this year, projected for 20 next year, and then moving forward from there. And I know Tarek. I talk to Tarek on a constant basis. I work with him, and he's telling me there's a lot of want in every province of Canada, and we want to make
Hey
sure.
now! Franco Miller skying for the alley-oop jam.
Yeah, cut me off, Franco. Cut me off. That's
You
fine
need
with
the
me.
call, Mike.
I
You
love
gotta
that call.
cut that call.
Oh, fantastic, Franco. What was I saying? I wasn't even know what I was saying. Oh yeah, prep teams in every province. It's going to happen. Get ready. And then we're just going to continue doing live broadcasts and show the world how good these kids are.
And I apologize for intervening there. And
Oh, you had to. Oh no, absolutely.
But
Please.
Franco Miller, an emphatic alley-oop jam, and oddly enough, this morning in their first game of the day, and they spent most of the game trying to choreograph an alley-oop. It was Jacoby Neath looking over and saying, "Get your camera ready along the baseline."
Oh yeah.
That time they were able to execute, and Franco Miller finishing it off.
They're fun players. They're definitely fun players to watch.
Absolutely.
I go through hundreds of hours of thousands of footage on these kids, and it doesn't seem to amaze me every single time when I see someone fly and grab a ball and just dunk it. You know, and to me, they're like superstars now. When I see them, I walk out here, I'm like, oh my God, it's Franco Miller. Oh, Jacoby Neath, what's he gonna do? Okay.
And your favorite, AJ Lawson.
AJ Lawson. AJ, if you're listening, please, no more two-handed dunks or one-handed dunks. Give me something new, please. Thank you, AJ Lawson. Nah, they're all good kids. They're all going to do special things for Canadian basketball, and I'm glad that I can be a part of that process and that growth for this sport and for them eventually going to NCAA and hopefully to the NBA, right?
You already touched upon it a little bit, but
yeah.
Some people might not realize, obviously, MPH, I guess in a sense, and, you know, Elias always talks about it, and it's still being, you know, we're going to continue to grow, but it's still in its infancy in many ways, and although you have the birth of the NPA now in its second season, the showcase circuit has been wildly successful for a number of years, but, you know, there's still so much growth, and, I mean, Mike, I'm sure you take pride in, you know, being a part of that process.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, we go coast to coast in every province. We'll have a showcase, and we started with the boys.
And introduce the girls now.
Exactly. So we do start with the boys, the junior boys, and now the girls circuit. This is going to be a ram summer for us. Actually, starting in April, end of April, all the way into September, we're going to continue on heavy with the girls, the boys, and the junior boys. And eventually, it's still in the works. We still have a lot of things that we got to, you know, connections that we want to have in place, but continue these showcases year-round. We want to make sure we give everybody the best opportunity that, okay, if you're not in the NPA, that's great. NPH is still going to find you, right? If it's at our showcases, if we hear something from a coach or whatnot, we're going to make sure that we find that person, we give that person the best ability to get exposed, put them in the right situation, if it is in the NPA or any other type of school, and then get the right eyes on them. And if it's from a live broadcast to a mixtape to actually talking to an NCAA coach or a post-secondary coach, youth sports, and getting them in connection with that player. And I know Elias works tirelessly, and he is the one that runs pretty much the scouting service on the MPH side countless times. I remember we went to a road trip in Indiana, and I think it was an 8-hour, 7-hour drive. He was on the phone constantly, not just with coaches talking about players, but talking to players that need help getting there. And one of them was, who was it? I think it was Sean Miller Moore needed some help, and Elias was on the phone figuring out what needed to, where Sean needed to go or who he needed to get in contact with. And he helped them. He helped them, and I think that's what's great about Elias when he does his scouting service there. And Tark as well. He does the exact same thing on a different capacity. But It's great.
Talking about young up-and-coming players and prospects, 22 in blue is quite the impressive young man, Elijah Fisher. So much has been made, and one thing that's really impressed me about a kid like Elijah Fisher, who's an 8th grader playing prep, playing at this level and being mixed in with obviously guys who are much older and much more mature and have accumulated a great deal of experience at this level. He's being coached and he's not receiving any special treatment. I think that has been huge for his development because his demeanor has not changed. You see guys who get to that point where maybe there's, you know, they're spoiled and there's a sense of entitlement. Not with him, and not for a kid who by many accounts is being widely regarded as the top prospect in the class of 2023 in North America. Not Canada, but North America.
Well, he knows that playing on a Crestwood team like this and playing for Coach Roe Russell, that everybody has a role, right? And he's still a baby. He's still a baby, and he knows that it's Franco Miller's team and it's Jacoby Nee's team. And he's going to play that role. But what great players to really feed off of and grow from and learn, you know? And he's not getting much playing time this season as much as, you know, we would like to see as well. But that's just part of his growth, his process, and his journey that will, in the end, he's a stud. He's gonna come out. He's gonna be the guy, and we're gonna all laugh about talking about this when he's on the bench and as a kid. But he's gonna put up some crazy numbers and really turn some heads, I believe.
Well, he's also playing on the junior varsity team that they have here at Crestwood, and they've been very, very good in the junior tournaments, and seen them compete against some top flight programs. You know, the Henry Cars, the Vaughan secondaries, you know, I mean, in fact, Elias and Tark, their alma mater, has been excellent. St. Martin, they've been tremendous this year. So Thornley amongst those. So, you know, for him to have the opportunity as an 8th grader to come in, Jaden Langley Thomas, another young man who's on the bench right now for Crestwood, but those two guys are going to be key pillars for this program going forward. We'll shift gears a little bit, Mike, and why don't we give a little bit of a shameless plug for some of the players, you know, and we do these showcase events, and, you know, there's always opportunity to purchase and obtain footage, whether it's a raw footage or a mixtape for guys who are participating even in this event and are going back and watching some of these games. How can they get in contact with you? How can they find a way to access some of the material that we are going to capture over the course of the weekend?
Well, it all starts off if you are interested in footage. If we are at an event, I'll have one of my video guys that are there. They will have my card. You can email me at m.dotto@northpolehoops.com. We have about 10 shooters, we have 5 editors, we have a team ready that is willing to actually come out and film you guys live, regardless if it's at our tournament that we're hosting at a showcase, or it's a tournament that we're covering, or it's just, hey, you want actual things to happen. So at the end of the day, also my Instagram is well, I guess I have to say the email and the Instagram. Yes. So yes, follow me on Instagram at what's my Instagram again? Mike_MPH. I've been told to create an Instagram to help people get mixtapes, and really, you know what? The point of my Instagram is to show the behind the scenes, show what we do, help kids get mixtapes, provide exposure, raw footage, talk to the coaches. So I like doing it with the Instagram. But again, like, we have that ability to send out a videographer to an individual's game, film the game, create a mix for them. You know, if that's what you're looking for, contact MPH, contact myself. You already heard my email, and that's what we're able to do. And then, you know what? It's honestly a fun process to do it, because you get to learn and meet so many great people that just need that extra exposure. So that's mixtapes, but we also do mic'd ups as well. So as I've been telling you before with Franco Miller, we do that, you know, for MPA as part of the exposure and part of the media package that we provide in this league. But if you would like a mic'd up, you know, hit me back up on the Instagram. It's Mike_MPH and my email, and we can definitely make that happen.
We even mic'd up DeAndre Reed in the last game here. It was
That was a good one.
It was a very good game. Central Tech going toe-to-toe with RNS, and RNS really giving CT a run for their money. We have the champs, the reigning NPA champs, CTA, coming up shortly after this one. And they're making the trek down from Ottawa with that title
It's a scary team.
in tow, and obviously one of the better teams in the NPA, and a team that's not only going to reign supreme on this level in this circuit, but just across the board. They have skill that's off the charts. So expecting a large crowd. It's been great to see the support and the fans, the spectators come out to show their support for these players, for these teams. And a nifty move there into the lane, and there's Tony hoisting up a triple, and it's short.
He's been good for this team.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
been good for them. Unsung hero.
It's been encouraging to see the growth of this Halifax prep team. Two guys obviously kind of stirring the pot and really driving the truck, if you will. The bus is Jaron Johnson, number 5 there. He's been dealing with a shoulder.
Thought he wasn't going to play.
I was just about to point that out. I was told before the game that he was going to take a break. He was not going to be able to play today in this game.
Check out his wrist. Can you see his wrist?
Might be.
You want to zoom in there, camera guy? Check out his wrist.
We got to get that close up. But
something's going on with his wrist. It looks like it's blood.
He was dealing with a shoulder injury, and that kept him out of.
My camera guy's gonna love this. Hey, stop using that zoom. Go to the top. There you go. Oh boy, gentlemen, let's go.
And Jaron Johnson, he was putting on quite the show with his sharpshooting ability in their previous game, and had 24 points in that win. And it was Brandon Muntu who had 34, so he was very impressive, the product of Calgary, Alberta.
Look out, we're going to do a mic'd up for Brendan tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. I think he is facing Beast Prep.
I believe so. It is, I believe, against Beast.
So we have that scheduled. So we're gonna have I think we're gonna have about 6 mic'd ups after this weekend, and about 6 more mixes as well. So the content is all here. This is great. We enjoy this, and just high level basketball. Like, so if you're in the neighborhood here in Crestwood area, come out here. We're here till the 6th.
GTA area.
Yep.
Drop by. There's still a couple more games on tap here this evening, and then tomorrow a full slate of games, as well as Saturday some high-profile matchups. And Mike, thanks for joining us here in this first quarter. We're gonna finish this one up, and it's Franco Miller here who's gonna wind it down for us. Kicks it to Antwi, short, bounces around, no good. And the shot clock expired, although the ball did hit the rim, so therefore we'll see where possession is given, and I believe it's going to go to Halifax Prep. But Mike, once again, we do appreciate it, and please, we invite you to interact with us. So we're putting our information out there. We do invite you and encourage you to interact with us. As here's Mantu, and it's off the mark. End of one quarter of play. Mike Dotto's going to sign out, but we have a Crestwood lead, 28-18. The Lions on top of Halifax Prep. We'll be back.
And
Pangos will shoot another 3, his 3rd triple already.
I'm a retired teacher. I coached at a whole bunch of different levels throughout the player delivery system in Canada. Involved myself at the provincial level as head coach of Team Ontario from 1994 to 97. Coached at the university level, University of Guelph for 7 years, high school coach, and I'm now an author. And I'm an author of a book called Can't Miss, a story about Kevin Pangos. But the angle that I'm bringing about the book is that I'm a basketball coach who wrote a book. So I'm the delivery of the book encapsulates.
Bembry handling it, cross court to Pangos for 3, and Kevin knocks it down.
I read a book called Outliers, and it talked about why people need people around them to take advantage of in order to succeed at the highest levels. That same summer, Kevin was chosen as the youngest member of the national team. Kevin might be an outlier. Kevin was playing for A-Game Hoops, which is a team that Kyle Julius ran, and Kevin was on the team as a high school player. And I was coaching at the University of Guelph, and Kevin was lighting us up. And I'm loving this because I've loved Kevin since he was a kid, but I'm also hating it because we're getting drilled by this team. And Chris leans over to me and says, "That guy can't miss." And I went, "Title." because it says about what Kevin's life's about is whatever happens to him, he just rolls with it, and we all need to learn from that. A failure is just a part of success, and that's the way he really, really views it. So if you have that attitude, honestly, you can't miss.
And welcome back. Second quarter action set to get underway. Halifax Prep trailing Crestwood Prep 28-18 after the opening quarter. Once again, a special thank you to Mike Dotto, our Director of Video Production, for joining us in that opening frame. As going to the free throw line, number 11, Ryan Toney, the senior, the lone senior on this Halifax Prep squad, coached by Marcus Eaton, the young bench boss. Jacoby Neath, high-flying, athletic point guard for Crestwood, effective in that opening quarter, and now dribbling across the timeline, Trayvon Thomas. He's been very impressive over the course of the past couple of days, and here's Neath for three, short. Rebound secured by Thomas. Slices into the lane, hoists up a mid-range jumper, it's good. If you want to join the conversation, I'm going solo at the moment, so if you'd like to interact with me during the broadcast, please either drop a comment in the comment section on our YouTube page in the live chat. We have our producer Tristan will be monitoring and mediating that conversation. And in addition, feel free to follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Daniele_media. And I believe Tristan will also share that information, and you can send me a tweet, and we will, of course, do our best to interact and share some comments. Crestwood will have possession. Franco Miller will inbound. Coach Ro Russell has done a fantastic job with this Crestwood program, and they've been completely transformed into a powerhouse here in the GTA, and they've performed very well, not even just in the NPA, but at a variety of tournaments. And Jaron Johnson with it now for Halifax, putting Jacoby Neath on his hip. Stolen. It's Neath in transition. Nice move into the lane. Doesn't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Counted plus the foul. Kobe Antwi collecting the offensive board and finishing strong with the right hand. And as we said earlier, to those of you that wanted to catch the beginning of this game, we apologize. We were experiencing some technical difficulties. And I was going to make an apology to the Nova Scotians because I'm sure they were all eager to get back on the stream, especially after the big win from their boys in their first game of the day, the first victory in program history. And I believe he's not in a foul. Ty Mertenham drawing the foul for Halifax Prep, and they will inbound along the sideline. He's Andre Smith with it. He's quick, elusive, little man. Oh! Nifty move, just couldn't draw contact. Johnson, some pressure, turnover. It's Antwi in transition. Some contact, offensive foul. It's Brandon Muntu. He's been a force all weekend long. Able to draw the charge. Substitutions coming, and it's Elijah Fisher checking back in for Crestwood. Jacoby Neath playing the middle of this 1-2-1-1 press. Shot on its way, no good. Offensive rebound and a foul. It was Jacoby Neath committing the foul, getting his hand in there. Mertenham will go to the line from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. 6'2", class of 2020. His first, rattles in. Looking ahead to our next matchup, we have two remaining on the day. It's CTA making that trip from Ottawa. They're taking on SJK. And then later on in our nightcap, it is Toronto Basketball Academy taking on LBA, London Basketball Academy. Two high-powered teams, two championship caliber teams looking to get a statement win. That should be a good one. And if you're in the area or in the GTA and are looking to get your basketball fix on this Thursday night, we encourage you to come on down to Crestwood Preparatory College here in North York. $10 a day for entry or a $30 weekend pass. Come check out some high-level basketball. Here's Franco Miller. Day one was particularly kind to him. 60 points combined over 2 games. Scored an even 30 in each. This one rattles off the front iron, no good. Offensive rebound, no good. Fighting for it, and it's Jaron Johnson who emerges with the basketball. Pushing it up the floor. It's Muntu into the lane, slicing his way, and he's fouled. Shifty. Brandon Muntu. Go to the free throw line. Standing at 6'4", Calgary, certainly turning some heads and opening some eyes with some college coaches in attendance. CTA is in the building. The defending champs actually located directly behind our broadcast position. Ready to put on a show. Oh, that's a friendly roll there as the free throw bounces off the top of the backboard and the edge of the backboard and rolls in. It's now a 10-point game. Crestwood 33, Halifax Prep 23, but that quickly moves to 13, and there's a nice outlet feed and a finish. That is Mergenham, and he's done a fantastic job coming off the bench and giving them a lift. Good finish, Elijah Fisher, the youngster, the 8th grader. Oh, this is where you get into trouble. Halifax Prep, and here's Muntu. So crafty, just can't make it, can't finish. Marcus Eaton, excited there on that sideline, and out of bounds, a turnover as Elijah Fisher steps on the end line. Jaron Johnson inbounds. Bringing it up the floor is Keysandre Smith. Gets it over down to the corner. It's Tony with it. Draws some contact and a foul. Foul committed by Shane Scruggs. Smith receiving some praise from his coaches as he exits and makes way for McGee. Julius McGee. Those kicks. I'm falling in love with those kicks, and I really like his game as well. It's all the colors of the rainbow, and he really does have a variety of tricks up his sleeve. His offensive arsenal is very diverse. Tony, second free throw is good. Here's Miller, corner, jumper, on its way, no good. Rebound, secured by Crestwood. It's Thomas with it, slicing into the lane, foul! Can't get the kiss off the window, but he will go to the foul line to shoot 2. And really initiating that was Shane Scruggs, gets the offensive rebound, kicks it back out to Thomas, who then slices in, knifes into the teeth of the defense and draws the foul. Already in the penalty is Crestwood, so if Halifax Prep can find a way to slow this game down, and maybe they'll have an opportunity to get to the foul line and start converting some of these easy opportunities at the charity stripe that might get them back into this game. Coach Ro Russell, the veteran bench boss, calling for a sub. Here comes Jacoby Neath as well, along with Luis Pacheco. Oh, good execution. Here's Miller. In the lane, fouled hard by Tony. And so Miller will go to the foul line to shoot a pair. He's logged a number of minutes, quite a few minutes over the past couple days. Today we saw he was able to take get a bit of a breather this morning in a blowout win. Yesterday night, a tightly contested affair against LBA, and even in the morning with no Jacoby Neath, they were in tough and needed his production on the offensive end. Free throw on its way. It is pure from Franco Miller. Substitution coming. Jared Johnson's going to get a bit of a blow. Checking in for Halifax for the sevens. It's number 4, Cairo Berry. With it is McGee. Good pass underneath. Tony finishing. The senior able to finish. Fisher with it. Kicks it out, 3 on its way, short. Steven Lazar unable to connect. We saw him display an aptitude for shooting that 3 ball. Just can't find the distance this time around. Muntu, good shot fake, makes a move. Met right there by Franco Miller. He has his hands full, that's for sure. Here's McGee, deep into the shot clock, creates space, fires, no good. Miller with it. Or excuse me, Fisher, muscling his way to the basket. Elijah Fisher certainly doesn't play like an 8th grader. Barry, shot on its way, no good. Fisher, outlets to Neath. Neath cuts it to the middle, dumps it down to the big man, and 1. Luis Pacheco finishing on the feed from Jacoby Neath. And he'll go to the line looking to make it a 3-point play opportunity. Little over 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this first half between Crestwood and Halifax Prep. Crestwood, inconspicuously, you look up at the scoreboard and all of a sudden it's a 15-point lead. And it's kind of the case this morning as well. They didn't look particularly sharp, but ended up blowing the barn doors off of St. Laurent. Now here's Jacoby Neath going to the foul line. Neath is first on its way. It's good. And Jacoby Neath really rounding into form today. Obviously did not play yesterday morning. Was in Florida. Returned and didn't start the second game against LBA. Entered in the 3rd quarter. And then struggled to find his rhythm. But came up with some clutch plays down the stretch to help Crestwood defeat a very talented LBA squad, as the 3 is good. Julius McGee quickly becoming one of my favorite players to watch on this Halifax team. The sharpshooting little man. He's got some range to him. Neath trying to make a move. Screen set by Pacheco. 3 on its way, no good. Pacheco using his size, can't get it to go. And rather than fading away, and you can see Ro Russell a little disgusted by that, probably want to go up strong. A foul. Muntu will go to the line. Manning the camera this afternoon is Zach Hirschberg. one of the many fantastic interns we have here at NPH, a product of, yet again, the Mike Dotto School of Video Production. Tristan handling our streaming duties, as the free throw is good from Muntu. And of course, I myself am Daniele Franceschi holding down the fort without Jason Tom here, my partner in crime. Halifax Prep trailing by 12. See if they have another run in them to end this half and maybe get it down to singles. Oh, that layup attempt is rejected by the big fella Pacheco. A little bit of trouble there underneath, and it's out of bounds. Julius McGee applying some pressure and results in a turnover. Elijah Fisher checking out of the ball game. Here comes Trayvon Thomas. Kobe Antwi coming in as well for Steven Lazar. Here's Barry with it, splits the double team. Nifty move, gets it to McGee, no good. Shot is off the mark. Here's Jacoby Neath. Dribbles it into the front court, makes his move, nice move, but throws it right into the legs of Tony. Counter plus the foul! Give that man some recognition. That's Brandon Muntu with the hoop and the harm. He's keeping Halifax alive in this one. Free throw, good. And it's a three-point play. And we're down to single digits with less than 3 to play here in the first half. Here's Franco Miller, goes over the screen, battling his way to the basket. Oh man, just too strong. As LeVar Ball says, too big, too strong. Get out of my way. Neath, Miller, showtime! Oh, off the back iron. Franco Miller, I've been saving that one, sir, and you ruined it. You gotta throw it down. Both teams in the penalty. Here's Muntu with it, and they're gonna come and trap. Muntu able to turn the corner, gets to the corner. Shot on its way, Tony, no good, that would have been a big one. Trayvon Thomas with it. Swings it, oh, Antwi, no hesitation. Off the mark though on that one. Here comes Barry with it. Barry, oh, bad pass, turnover. Jacoby Neath. Neath slicing his way to the bucket. Deflected, and it looked like it might have gone off Neath's leg. The officials are going to congregate and discuss briefly. And indeed, it is going the other way. So how about this turnaround from Halifax Prep? It's been a tale of two quarters thus far. And they've really found a way to battle, even with Jaron Johnson on the bench at the moment. The likes of Julius McGee, Cairo Barry, Brandon Muntu, they've all done a fantastic job. And here's Muntu, rattles in and out. But Tony, the senior, putting it back up and in. And Halifax Prep in it. And there's Marcus Eaton trying to energize his boys. Miller operating down in the post. Oh, too big. Miller turning around and laying it in, and a foul. Yep, good call by the official. Barry, a little bit of a reach there, looked like by Miller. I'll tell you what,
don't make fun of the donuts that I got.
These Halifax Prep Sevens are making quite the impression.
Always getting the worst donuts.
As we share a little bit of a chuckle, Jason Tom just delivered a couple of donuts, and they look like, well, I won't tell you what they look like.
What Tim Hortons does he?
Yeah, Cairo Berry first is good. Ryan Toney, the senior, who never thought this might have never been possible to be playing. Never mind here at Crestwood Preparatory College, never mind a prep game, but the NPA, playing basketball for one of his hometown teams. Great defense. Trayvon Thomas looking to create. Hoists one up, no good. That is going to be off of Franco Miller. It is Halifax prep ball with exactly 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Julius McGee. Looks like he's got a nice welt on his arm. Might have been from some contact he endured in this first half. Cairo Berry's provided them with some great minutes. 5'9" point guard. He's getting some burn here in this contest. It's good to see him out there, and he's making an impact. They inbound it. Get it to the corner. Move to no good. Desperately need one of those to drop. Here's Neath pushing it up the floor. Left hand. Going up strong, no good. Rebound, it's McGee. McGee trying to get it back down to single digits. He splits the double team. Look at this, McGee, 2. Shot on its way, no good. Here's Franco Miller with it. Goes right to left behind the back, into the lane, right hand. A little bit of a finger roll finish, no good. Now here's Toney with it. Toney's gonna push it up the floor. He's gonna slow it down. Reverse it back to his point guard. They swing it over, and now here's Brandon Muntu. And who else would you want it? Shot clock is off. Final possession of this first half. Muntu gonna hold on to it. Less than 10 on the clock now. Screen set by Toney. Comes over. He's working on Thomas. Pulls up. 3 on its way. No good. And that's gonna do it for this first half. Crestwood leading Halifax Prep 49-39. We'll be back after this halftime break.
Ro Russell is best known as one of the founding fathers of the Canadian AAU scene. Now he is building something new, a boys and girls basketball program at Crestwood Preparatory College, a private school that can provide resources to both their coach and their players.
It's a great job. We have great resources, great support systems, and it's very, it's structured. I can be here and do my thing for the next 10, 20 years and just, keep on doing what we're doing and keep being successful. So it's a great place for longevity.
We're not looking at being, the top dog for a year or 2. We're looking at longevity. So we want this to be a program that we can look back on. It's been going for 20 years, 30 years. We know that these kids are looking to go to top level post-secondary schooling, and we don't want anyone going there unprepared. Crestwood is an academic institution, and we've always been an academic institution for 40 years. So we're going to give these kids through basketball a way to come to a high-end private school.
The first time I visited here, they're like, okay, this is no joke, you're not just coming here to play basketball and then leave. You're gonna get a good education, we're gonna stay on top of you. You just have to learn how to manage your time well. When you're on the court, you're just focused on what you're doing there, and then when the game's done, you go home, do your homework. You just focus on everything you do. I think it's special. You're setting the foundation for many years to come. Like our young guys, like Elijah Fisher, they'll look up to us, and we'll see where they end up.
Crestwood is a great school because 99.9% of kids graduate to go off to university, and they have high academics. It teaches me more how to be more of a gentleman, be more respectful.
We want guys to be academically at a level that they can go in and it's not a shock to them. We want them to be used to the university type level of standards. It's about building a well-rounded person from academics, character, and athletics.
The school's past history with international students has allowed players from other countries to help jumpstart the basketball program, including Franco Miller of the Bahamas.
No, I never thought that I would ever be up in Canada playing basketball. At home, there's not as much opportunities as there are here. So the best thing to do if you want to further your education and you want to let your sport take you wherever it takes you is to get out and get as much opportunity as you can. This is definitely preparing me for the next level because it's a high-level basketball training and high-level standard in the classroom, so it gives you best of both worlds.
I'm from New York, and I went to school in Springfield Gardens. It's in Queens, New York. All the teachers know my name. Like, even if I don't have them, they all know my name. Like, if I went to a school, it would be like a month in, and some of them still wouldn't know my name. I'm developing more in my game and in school. Coach Rowe has a great program where we're more of a brotherhood than the team.
Yeah, it brings a big smile to my face to see that, you know, things have changed and it's all flipped around to where Americans are coming here. We're offering a great product here now where you get the academics, you get exposure, the opportunity, and with the MPA really growing, the competition is really good now. So all those things are here for them. So it's very, very difficult for them not to succeed.
Franco Miller with the spike. Oh no, Franco Miller.
They're barking, they're starting to bark.
Yeah. On time, on target delivery, piping hot. Shiny time. Franco Miller. Shot clock about to expire. Pull-up three, Franco Miller. Back out top. Franco Miller all day.
Welcome back. In front of your screen is Trayvon Thomas of the Crestwood Prep Lions as they lead 49-39 over Halifax Prep. Perhaps a bit of a surprise, but a good first half of basketball, and Halifax Prep finding a way to eliminate a 15-point deficit, trim it down to single digits at one point, and it currently stands at 10. But a valiant effort from this young upstart Halifax Prep team. The officials are going to intervene, a little bit of pushing and shoving going on even before we have the inbound. A factor to be sure in this one, it's been Brandon Muntu. He has been tremendous. Never mind just today in this contest, but this morning and yesterday, he's really, as we've said on numerous occasions, turned some heads and opened some eyes, averaging 34.5 points per game over the course of the past 2 days. It's number 7 in white, Brandon Muntu. Ryan Toney, 11 in white, the senior, the lone senior on this first year Halifax Prep squad, coached by Marcus Eaton. We have Crestwood Prep, a few guys still trickling in from the locker room, and we have some of our MPH staff and some other personnel just trying to make sure there are no wet spots. And safety first, MPH. And Mike Dotto knows that very well. Trayvon Smith still awaits. Trayvon Thomas, excuse me, awaits the inbound along the sideline on your side of the screen. And we look at Julius McGee. He's chatting with one of the assistants there on that Halifax bench. He's been terrific for them, especially earlier in their victory over St. Laurent, their first win on the NPA circuit. We're going to take a quick break, sort out some things here, and we'll be right back bringing you second half action.
NPH Scouting Service. The NPH Scouting Service is another platform for exposure with a network of over 300 coaches and scouts from some of the most recognizable brands and programs. Our scouts are constantly evaluating talent to ensure accuracy and credibility. NPH Events. There's an opportunity to get involved at the ground level. NPH hosts elite level high school tournaments to national club team championships throughout the course of the season. Now is your chance to get involved with the fastest growing sport in Canada with the industry leaders and influencers. Get in the game today and join NPH in growing basketball in this country.
From straight away, hit another three, his sixth of the first half.
I think the biggest thing about Kevin, highly skilled, but his values are very, very solid. Home-schooled value sort of thing. Of his grandparents taught him a lot. His uncle taught him a lot. Bill and Patty, his parents, obviously played a huge role, and he's very, very value-based. Everybody that you talk to that played with Kevin or coached Kevin will tell you exactly the same thing. Just a great kid, very, very grounded, never got full of himself, always works hard and wants more and more and more.
And there we go, we get the thumbs up from the official. We are back and we are live here at Crestwood Preparatory College in North York, Ontario. Start of the second half and dumping it down inside. That is Louis Pacheco, putting Crestwood on the board here in the third quarter. It's Muntu with it. Crestwood certainly keying in on him defensively. McGee, Muntu, he's gonna pull it. Off the back iron and out. Battling for it and on the ground is Franco Miller. Trayvon Thomas with it. He's out there with Jacoby Neath, who has possession of the ball right now, as well as the aforementioned Louis Pacheco, Kobe Antwi, and Franco Miller. That's the five for Crestwood to start this third quarter. Here's Muntu. McGee to Muntu. Back to McGee. He's going to pull it. Short. Rebound on the weak side by Franco Miller. Nifty move. Cairo Berry. And now Halifax Prep retreating into a 2-3 zone. Just trying to give a different look. Shot on its way. It's good. That is Jacoby Neath. Burying from the corner. Berry. Stolen. Pacheco. Miller. Neath. And we'll call it a baby throwdown. That's a timeout. An early timeout for Marcus Eaton and his staff as the lead balloons to 17 for Crestwood. We'll take a short break and be right back with more action from Crestwood Preparatory College.
I'm Kellen Tynes and I'm mic'd up for North Pole Hoops. Bad and booty, bad, cooking the dough with the ooze. Yeah. To my dog. Woo.
We're gonna play a lot of zone, so we need to beat it down the court. We can run all our sets against the zone. You just gotta run to good space.
Done it. Ayo, bang into 30. I got middle. Dawson drop. Ben, see him. Don't let it get through there. Dawson drop. Hey! Let's go, boy! Ben, turn and sprint. Hey, and one! Go, let's go. Got a one, that ball's in the air. push somebody, box them up, get the ball, or squeeze it.
We need to make sure that at one time, Kellen, you did the absolute perfect thing you've never done since I met you. You stepped out, you tried to take up space. You weren't trying to take a charge, but you were trying to go and meet him. You accidentally went around it. Now you just got to close that gap a little bit better.
Yeah. Panther! Panther! Hey! Turn up, Ben! Don't run into him if he's there. Suds, wave him off. Box! You keep looking to pass. You got to look to attack.
Quit catching the ball right in the middle.
You got to get on that side or this side. Come on.
And we're back. Live game action here at Crestwood Preparatory College. It's the Crestwood Prep Lions leading the Halifax Prep Sevens 56-39. Less than 2 minutes into this second half. Oh, I know, might have got away with the carry there. Was McGee hoisting up at the tail end of the shot clock. It is short. Offensive rebound into the lane. Good block there by Pacheco. He outlets. Oh, nice behind the back. Jacoby Neath, one-handed flush, no good. It's one of my pet peeves. If you can do it, great. If you can't, just take the two. Just take the 2 point. I know Mike Dotto's probably shaking his head somewhere. Reason being because he wants the highlight. He lives for the highlight, but at the same time, just take the easy 2 points. And we have a timeout on the floor. That'll give us an opportunity to take a look at the aforementioned Jacoby Neath, who, despite missing that dunk there, still explosive as ever. And we take a look, he's averaging nearly 16 points a game. He's a guy who can get it done on both ends of the floor. We didn't have the luxury of seeing him yesterday, and he came in and later on and delivered a couple of clutch quarters against LBA, made some big plays down the stretch, but he's a playmaker. And the luxury with this Crestwood team as they continue their evolution and are certainly going to be a force as we see some of his highlights. You know, he was great in that Ottawa session, but when you combine him with guys like Kobe Antwi, Franco Miller, I mean, he's a threat and he's a dynamic playmaker, but it just makes him that much more explosive and that much more of a weapon when you have good supporting pieces around him. And a big guy like Luis Pacheco, you can operate in some pick and roll situations, and you have a good young core. You take the ball out of his hands with Trayvon Thomas, and it's such a luxury to have. And he's obviously done a fantastic job for this Crestwood team and has played particularly well today. Antwi, foul, narrowly got the and one opportunity. Could have made it a 4-point play, but he'll go to the line and shoot three. Two guys who stepped up in the absence of Jacoby Neath yesterday morning in their first game of the week were Trayvon Thomas, 23 in blue, who really initiated and facilitated their offense yesterday, and then also on the bench right now, number 1 Jaden Langley Thomas. Both saw some meaningful minutes and extensive action yesterday in Neath's absence. Here's Kobe Antwi at the line shooting 3 free throws. First is pure. Second on its way. Short off the front iron. Great to see so many spectators in attendance here, and of course a marquee matchup on tap, and CTA defending NPA champions, the inaugural NPA champions, are in town. They are in the building, and they are ready to take on SJK in their first game of the week of this New Year challenge. Neath with the left-hand layup, able to leak out, and now Miller, Thomas, Neath, tick-tack, bucket. No, missed it. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Jacoby Neath, why you gotta make me look bad? Misses the layup. A foul. Miller able to, I believe it was Miller securing the steal and then swinging it over to Thomas, getting it to Neath. Just might have taken a couple too many dribbles before attempting to go up and finish. But again, a lot of college coaches in attendance. Spectators, been great turnout thus far. good to see a lot of these programs and people coming to support not just the MPA, but all of these programs hailing from different backgrounds. And of course, the team on the floor at the moment, Halifax Prep, they've made the 15-hour journey to Crestwood Preparatory College. And it was well worth it because they picked up their first win in program history earlier today. Tony underneath gets the offensive rebound and puts it in. Trayvon Thomas dribbling up the floor for Crestwood. Dribbles into the middle of the floor, dumps it back out. Antwi, three, no good. Good execution, a nice job by Thomas penetrating and kicking it out for an open look on the perimeter. Tony, he's short. Thomas in transition, Euro step. Oh, how about Trayvon Thomas? Able to get into the lane, knife his way through a couple of defenders and finish with the Euro step. Muntu, pull-up jumper, got it. It's a scoring machine. They're going to need some more production from Jaron Johnson if they hope to make a run and trim this deficit. Thomas, over to Miller. Miller, back out. Pacheco, how about that? They'll double clutch and then decided to shoot it. He's in danger of traveling. Ro Russell shaking his head, also grabbing that head of his. Here's Miller. Transition, right to left crossover, dumps it down. Jacoby Neath with the exclamation point, finishing off the break, a one-handed spike, and it's a timeout. We'll take a quick break. 5:40 remaining. Crestwood in control.
And one! Let's go, big man. Here, man. Yeah! Caleb, don't stand in the middle of the paint when there's a man wide open. Find him. Make sure we're loud. We up by 10. We go on a run right now. They'll be done. They won't want to play, man. Let's go. Hey! Good hits, boy. Let's go. Let's go. Transition's not there.
Shot, run back.
Transition's not there. Bring it up. Run the offense. Yeah. Stop forcing down low. Bang out!
Halifax Prep to inbound here along the end line after that timeout, trying to regroup as they trail here in the third quarter, 66-43, a sizable deficit. But for Halifax Prep, this week has already been a special one, and it's already been victorious in many ways, and earning their first win on the NPA circuit and catching up with Coach Marcus Eaton. And we have another throwdown. That's Franco Miller. He was mic'd up, wired for sound yesterday, and making plays, a two-handed flush. But in speaking with Marcus Eaton after that win today, earlier this afternoon, as here comes Kobe Antwi. The lob and the layup. Two-handed finish by Franco Miller. Corner. Back out. McGee and a travel. One too many steps. Getting back to my point, we were speaking with Marcus Eaton, and obviously he was thrilled. But the first words out of his mouth, he said, we needed that one. I needed that one, we needed that one. And just to give them some confidence, as a first-year program, we've spoken extensively about how difficult it can be to establish some credibility and to earn the respect and just to have your players on the same page. And there's a nice block there by Ryan Tony, the veteran, the senior. Here's Johnson, crossover into the lane, and a foul will be official on the near side, closest to your screen, able to make that call. A substitution coming It's going to be Keysandre Smith, 5'5" point guard, checking into the game for Julius McGee. Well, they can take solace, Halifax Prep can, in knowing that they are on the board officially. They have one in the win column. Marcus Eaton, and one of the things I really do admire and what he's accomplished and what he's done with this young team, is obviously a program in its infancy, but even something as simple as the attire that they wear when they come into the gym, and shirts and ties, and just trying to conduct themselves in a professional manner. It's a positive reflection on the program, on the Nova Scotian community, as there's a steal, and Elijah Fisher is fouled by Jaron Johnson. Roe Russell arguing about something, although his team is up by 28, still coaching. Trayvon Thomas will inbound from the far sideline on the far side of your screen. Substitution coming, Julius McGee and Jaron Johnson coming out. For those of you that have yet to take a peek at our YouTube page, please do. There are highlights and game coverage from all of the games thus far. It's a 21 game slate over the span of 4 days, and we still have a couple more remaining. Oh, and the lob, oh wow, unable to convert. Jacoby Neath on the weak side. And it's funny, during most of their early game this morning, Jacoby Neath, Franco Miller, Kobe Antwi trying to diagram that exact same sequence right there, but unable to finish. Oh, and a good finish. Speaking of finishing, how about that? Technical foul. And I believe Marcus Eaton being assessed the technical. I find that quite bizarre. But heck, what do I know? Jacoby Neath going to the foul line. He's going to shoot the technical free throw. You can see Brandon Muntu, he's having a conversation with the official here, as the free throw is good from Jacoby Neath. Smith going to be guarding the inbounder. Here's Elijah Fisher. And his stature is impressive. He's got also a very impressive resume as a young player, but 6'6" almost, and you could see he's only beginning to grow. Still has to fill out, and he's going to fit into his body and grow into his body, and it's going to be a force for many years to come. Trayvon Thomas has it for Crestwood. Oh, nifty, shaking big, and the finish! Trayvon Thomas. A little razzle-dazzle on a Thursday night. From the corner, Smith answers with a triple. Jacoby Neath slices into the middle of the defense. Fisher through contact, no good. Fighting for the rebound. There's Tony, and it's going to be off of Ryan Tony. Jaden Langley-Thomas checking into the game, and a nice little handshake with Jacoby Neath, perhaps a congratulatory one. I don't believe we'll see Neath again to score the way it is. An opportunity for Roe Russell to get his young guys some valuable minutes. Wow, just too big. Too big, too strong. Down underneath, it's Shane Scruggs. Delay of game warning issued on Crestwood. Into the middle, here's Muntu. Muntu swings it to Smith. Shot fake, gets it down, and a turnover. Ooh, double dribble, Lazar. See Jacoby Neath getting up from the end of the bench. He wasn't too pleased with that one. Steven Lazar. Double dribble violation and a turnover. And Muntu gets it to McGee. McGee turns the corner. And a foul. Good call. Elijah Fisher looked like he was grabbing and tugging a little bit there as McGee was turning the corner, even though it was a bit of a delayed reaction there from the official. McGee with it. Gets to the corner. Muntu stepping out of bounds along the sideline. You see, for a young guy like Cassandre Smith, class of 2020, for an 11th grader, he's 5'5". You see, these minutes are so significant for a guy like that. And he's, you see, the clock is temporarily stalled, it appears. Stuck in neutral, and the official indicating that there's no runoff. A nice move underneath, meanwhile, by Shane Scruggs. 6'7" big. It's going to be interesting to see how Elijah Fisher fills out, because right now listed at 6'5", and you know, he's getting close to that 6'6" plateau. Listed as a forward, although I don't project he's going to be a 4 or a 5 at any point. And he certainly doesn't play like one. And for those that have watched him play on the AAU circuit, that have seen him play with the Crestwood junior varsity team, or that have also seen him compete with, you know, his grassroots squad or union, amongst some of the teams he's suited up for. He's a guy who does excel playing at his age, at his skill level. He excels with the basketball in his hands, and he has it right now into the lane. Nifty finish, Elijah Fisher, the youngster. Great hustle play there by Shane Scruggs. I love that coaching box, baby. Stepping over the barrier, crossing the line. So a warning issued by the official, Coach Roe Russell. Stepped over the line, and now there's a conversation. You see Roe Russell pleading his case to the official. And you see Roe Russell still trying to plead his case. And here we go, and now we have a technical being issued. It's a good thing we didn't go to break. Roe Russell has been issued assessed a technical foul. Gives us an opportunity to take a look at what Brandon Muntu has done for this Halifax prep squad. He has been the engine that has driven this team, and averaging 18 points a game through the early part of this season. Those numbers are certainly going to go up after what we've seen from him so far this week. And one thing that's really impressed me in particular about this young man is he's displayed a nice in and out game. He's been very balanced and very fluid in terms of his ability to score the ball off the dribble, getting into the lane, shooting the basketball, and he's been terrific at doing that. Someone that I think certainly is going to be on the radar as we move forward, not just within the NPA, but on the NPH circuit as a whole. He's certainly drawn the ire of our national scouts, Elias and Tariq Sabate. Here's Smith. 3 on its way, no good. So Roe Russell assessed the technical. And it all stemmed from the warning that was initially assessed after it looked like he might have stepped outside his coaching box and onto the court. And I think for most coaches, they can certainly relate and understand making an honest mistake like that. Well, I'm guilty of it, I ain't gonna lie. I've done it a number of times myself, so I think he has every right to be a little irritated by that. Trayvon Thomas missing the first. He's going to get one more at the free throw line. 1:17 remaining here in this third quarter. Free throw on its way. Thomas, good. Substitutions coming for Halifax Prep. Checking in. Number 3, Jadice Campbell. And also in, coming out of the game there you see is Brandon Muntu. Ty Murdenham checking in for him. Julius McGee rejects the screen. They ice it. Get it back to McGee. McGee. Oh, great defense. Now they get it down inside. Good pass. Floater, no good. And a shot clock violation. And you can see Marcus Eaton's trying to speak to the officials and discuss whether or not it hit the rim. It looked like the official might have agreed with them there. In fact, the far side official. And you can see Marcus Eaton actually disgusted by that because I think that's more insulting than anything else. Lazar, off the mark. Langley, Thomas, putback is good. Collects the offensive rebound, nobody boxing him out. And finishes the layup for the easy deuce. McGee has it again. Swings it over to Cairo Berry. Berry, pressure, Fisher, running the floor. Oh, Elijah Fisher! Throwing it down! Cradling the rock and finishing with the two-handed spike. That young man has a bright future, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my, and a round of applause. Elijah Fisher showing off some of the explosiveness that he has in his repertoire, in his bag of tricks. Lazar getting a little physical there, down underneath. Steal, Thomas. Basket is no good, waved off by the officials. So at the end of 3 quarters, oh baby, Elijah Fisher providing some fireworks to end the third. It's 88-49 in favor of Crestwood. We'll be back.
We're a small Christian school. We got 370 kids in the school from kindergarten to grade 12. We have 47 different countries represented at the school. Been around for about 25 years, and I started the basketball program there 14 years ago. We have kids from as far away as Nigeria, Turkey, Poland, Belarus, the Bahamas, so multicultural. It's been a real blessing. It's been a real opportunity for me to sort of see different styles of play in different areas of the world. Each year you're bringing in a new group of kids and trying to bring them all together at once. It's not like having a returning group of 10 guys and you add 2. You're bringing in 6 new ones every year. We just had kids come in from Iran. What a culture shock.
I'm Amir Hossein Rahimzad. I'm from Iran and I'm playing for BC Christian Panthers Prep. I played for the U17 national team. I was best player over there. The basketball over there is not like here. Here is more explosiveness. You can see the athletic guys living here, playing basketball here, working on your academic. It's really gonna help all the international guys who comes to Canada, and it's gonna help us.
I'm Aaron Abad. I'm from Croatia and I play for BC Christian.
Back with the 4th quarter as we get the final frame underway. Trayvon Thomas with the inbound. It's Fisher hoisting up a triple. He provided some fireworks there at the tail end of the third. making a nifty move, running along the far sideline, going right to left, and then finishing with a two-handed spike. Back to Fisher. Don't give him space. And one! And the stare down. Elijah Fisher. Now this kid's ready for prime time, I tell you. He's poised to make a statement on this prep circuit. And Fisher now at the line looking to convert the three-point play, and it's good. Although this one seems out of hand, and the result is certainly not in doubt by any stretch of the imagination. The games today, the level of competition that we've seen on display has been very impressive. So up until this point, with the exception of this game, we've had some very tight ball games, and we've had some exciting, thrilling finishes. So the quality of competition today has been tremendous. McGee, three, no good. Tony got it. The senior soaking it all in, able to help this team earn their first win in the NPA earlier today. Fisher, down inside. Spin move along the baseline, the drop step, can't finish. Gets it back, Scruggs again. Scruggs again. Scruggs hoisting a fadeaway, no good. Tony with it. Steal. Thomas, and he's gonna slow it down. Nope, he's gonna pop it. It's off the back iron, no good. Scruggs battling. Here's Moontu with it. Brandon Moontu attacking the basket. No good. Doesn't even draw iron. Straight off the backboard. Thomas up the floor. Trayvon Thomas layup is good. So as Crestwood continues to pour it on and balloon this lead, it'll be a 4-0 week for Crestwood. And they'll hit the road tomorrow. And boy, oh boy, it looks like this team's just rounding into form. Lazar with the board. Thomas with it. Over to Jaden Langley Thomas. He hoists. Short. Deflected, and I think that was a little unnecessary there by Elijah Fisher. And you could see in some discomfort along the baseline is Cairo Berry. Fisher now helping him up. And although it was unintentional, you see Berry providing a little bit of a chuckle. It might have hit him where, oh, it did. Oh, it hit him in the precious spot. That's a very sensitive area. There's McGee. Cole kicks it out to the 45. One dribble pull-up, no good from Muntu. An air ball and a turnover. There's Thomas to Fisher. Fisher fights off the body contact, gets it to Lazar. Three on its way, no good. Just hasn't been able to find a stroke in this one. Very effective in the first few games of this session. Just hasn't been able to convert in this blowout. So for Crestwood, 3 of their victories coming by way of absolute domination. And a tough one last night. They were able to edge out LBA, and that was a fun one. But in their other 3 games, they've had the opportunity. Roe Russell has had the luxury of going deep into his bench and playing a lot of his young guys, and you see them on the floor now. And Elijah Fisher, Langley Thomas, even Trayvon Thomas has been earning some more minutes, and this team is operating like a well-oiled machine. Fisher, layup is good. The way he explodes and gets off 2 feet is impressive for a young guy like that. 13, 14 years of age, it's incredible to see how athletic he is. Thomas, nifty move. Jaden Langley Thomas. Timeout taken by Halifax. They're going to talk things over, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Improving in language, I'm learning every day new words and how to speak better. So the style here is more dynamic, I would say, more explosive basketball, more one-on-one. I like some things here, some things there, but maybe more here. Changed me a lot as a player. I learned how to play better, how to get more confidence in my playing, and just experiencing this American and Canadian basketball. And it changed me as a person because I get new experience, new living alone, of course, and new perspective.
My name is Sammy Hunter. I was born in the Bahamas and I play for BC Christian Prep. It's been different because in the Bahamas you don't get to see people from different countries as much. But it's been an eye-opener too to see how people from other countries act and react to certain things. It teaches me. I learn every day about different styles, how people play, and I can truly say that these guys are like the funniest guys, some of the funniest guys I've ever met.
I'm Pierce Strutt.
97-53 the score. A blowout in favor of Crestwood. The Lions doing their part and are about to sew up a perfect 4-0 record here. The New Year Challenge. You see Elijah Fisher on the floor for Crestwood, and Jaden Langley Thomas, some of the young guns getting some well-deserved action, some good burn. It appears to be a little bit of a dispute at the table. Ro Russell and Marcus Eaton. This is a dispute regarding timeouts. Just over 7 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. The free throw is good. And we saw a similar situation unfold yesterday. I believe it was during the TBA GTA prep game, and Coach Adil Sahedzada of TBA also going over to the table requesting a timeout. It was granted, and turns out he didn't have any remaining. And fortunately for TBA, it did not cost them the game. It did not warrant a technical foul, and the officials congregated and were able to rectify the issue. Just want to give a special shout out and express our gratitude and appreciation to the many volunteers and people who have come out and volunteered their time to help put on this event this week here at Crestwood Preparatory College. And of course, for more insight, reaction, and all your Canadian basketball needs, head over to our website, northpolehoops.com. Also, feel free to check out our North Pole Hoops YouTube page, and be sure to follow us on all our social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I'm sure Mike Dotto remembers the Vine days. Goes back, eh, Mike?
MySpace.
Oh, MySpace. Oh, geez. MySpace. MSN Messenger. The good old days. Thomas, outlets. Here's Fisher. Does he have another one? Oh! Tried to go for the one-handed spike along the left baseline, unable to get it to go. Thomas, Fisher. This time, oh! Elijah Fisher! Climbing the ladder. Squeezing it home over top of Ryan Toney. Yeah, I think once you catch a body, you're certified member of the NPA, and that's out of bounds. And although he didn't necessarily catch a body, full-fledged, boy, oh boy, this young man has some serious bounce to him. Thomas. Oh, nice move. Looking for the dime, unable to convert that pass, but a nifty move to break past a couple of defenders. And Moontu to the corner. Smith, no good. Fisher pushing forward. Stuffed by the rim. For a guy that's 6'5", you know, we like to laugh and make jokes about guys who are 5'9", 5'10", 6 feet tall, Isaiah Thomas height, that can't get up. Well, hell, Elijah Fisher, you're 6'5". Please throw that down. Kindly signed by the NPH team. And Mike Donald. Stolen. Fisher again. Fisher, turnover. Smith. Mutu. Oh, looking to put himself on the highlight reel and unable to convert. Some issues with the shot clock. They're going to correct that. 99-56. Crestwood poised to cross that, eclipse the 100-point plateau. And Fisher checking out of the ball game. Perhaps Roe Russell didn't like the fact that he was unable to finish a couple of those open dunk opportunities. Behind us is CTA, the defending NPA champs, and they are getting set in just a few minutes from now to make their debut this week at the Toronto New Year Challenge. They're going to take on SJK. And then later on tonight, with Toronto Basketball Academy and London Basketball going toe-to-toe in a matchup of two heavyweights. 5 games on tap tomorrow. This is our 5th of 7 today. And again, a good crowd on hand as people getting off work and beginning to file in around the dinner time hour. See a few familiar faces in the crowd, some college coaches in attendance. Also good to see Wazir Latif, starting point guard / 2-guard for Vaughan Secondary School Prep. And there's a shot. Julius McKee is good. There's Langley Thomas. Crosses over into the lane. Some contact, no foul, and a turnover. Perhaps a little too ambitious. And we're just getting to the point now where it's more of an open run, if you will. It's a scrimmage. And what started as a tightly contested affair, I mean, Halifax Prep hanging around, they were trailing by 10 at halftime. And they've only managed to muster, if my memory serves me correctly, 20 points in the second half. They've been outscored. Oh, Smith, foul. And so, Keysandre Smith will go to the foul line. For those of you that have been tuning into the live stream all day long and even yesterday, we do appreciate your support. Again, feel free to join the conversation. We encourage and we invite your input. We'd like to hear from you. Free throw was good from Smith. His third, short, rims out. Thomas pushing in transition. Thomas elevates. Oh my. Offensive foul. Ryan Toney standing in there and taking some punishment from Trayvon Thomas. It's an offensive foul and a turnover. To the young man providing the mopping services on our left side of the floor. You're the real MVP. Shout out to you. We appreciate all the help. Down underneath. Ooh, soaring above the basket but unable to finish. It's number 34, Sumachi Agbakbu. Shot on its way. Smith off the side of the backboard. Rebound secured by Thomas. Thomas gets it ahead. Whoa, soaring to the basket. There's Lazar. He cleans it up, and it's good. Steven Lazar. Toney with it. Stolen by Thomas. That's Langley Thomas. Here's Trayvon Thomas. Woo-hoo! Little guy trying to show off some hops. He elevates, just unable to finish. 3:32 remaining. Still to come tonight. Couple of big games featuring CTA in our next contest, going up against SJK and of course TBA and LBA. The nightcap. Langley Thomas with it. Ooh, nice look off and pass it just off the mark. And Samachi Akbakbu, you can see he was apologizing for not catching that one. Shot on its way from Tony, no good. Here's Thomas with it. Gets it head to Langley Thomas. Langley Thomas, couple moves on McGee, dumping it down inside. Oh, Akbukbe, and he can't finish. There must be a lid on the basket. But able to crack the code, Brandon Muntu finishing and adding on to his already impressive point totals. And that pass is out of bounds from Trayvon Thomas off the mark. You see all the teams starting to file in. CTA preparing. We saw SJK also come in earlier. Look like they're going to go with the travel. Here's Langley Thomas. Off the backboard. Oh! Unable to convert. Now pulling it up. And no good. Oh, man. Just trying to have some fun. You see Langley Thomas setting the table. And unable to convert was Julio DeGao. What a foul. DeGao. It looked like he might have slipped there, so the officials do give him the benefit of the doubt. And it's Keandre Smith. He's trying to shake it off, and he's see some of the players and personnel from LBA as well as TBA starting to make their way into the building, and that should be a hotly contested affair between two championship contenders. And following this session, we have the Nationals coming to you, where we're going to crown the second NPA champion. And right now the trophy residing in Ottawa, and those CTA boys are going to hope that it stays there. They're undefeated at the moment. Here's Muntu. Blocking, count it, plus the foul. Brandon Muntu. Here's a guy, if he finds the right program, could have an opportunity to play post-secondary basketball. Made the decision to move from Calgary. Judging by what we've seen over the past 48 hours, seems like it's paying dividends. A steal. Tony. Muntu. Corner triple. No good. Rebound Thomas. Trayvon Thomas. Pressure being applied by Halifax Prep. Oh, and they call a foul. And that is on three. Jadise Campbell, native of Toronto. Bit of a homecoming for Campbell. We haven't seen him play many minutes over the first few games of this session. Having an opportunity to get into this one and play some extensive minutes down the stretch, of course, as the score is, you know, this game is out of reach. And you see Ryan Toney still the lone senior, and he's an extension, it seems, of Coach Marcus Eden on the floor for this Halifax team, always encouraging his teammates and being a vocal leader. Thomas up the floor, gets it. Here's Langley Thomas with it, hoists up a triple off the mark. Offensive rebound and deflected out of play. It'll stay with Crestwood. Just over a minute to play. They get it in. Here's Thomas. Here's Langley Thomas. Lazar, triple on its way, short. Rebound, Tony. Here's McGee. Julius McGee. Over to Smith. Smith swings it far side to the corner. Tony makes a move along the baseline. Bit of a bailout call, but I guess showing a little sympathy there, the official. And Ryan Tony, the senior's going to go to the free throw line. Maybe a little generous listing him at 6'4". Kate Britton, Nova Scotia. Has a First Nations background. So many tremendous stories on this Halifax team. And a terrific subplot to what has been an incredible week for them, given simply that they are in the win column as Lazar gets himself on the board. He's been struggling with his stroke from beyond the arc, but is able to make good as he attacks the basket. Smith along the baseline, and he is fouled. And so that'll put him at the line. He's Andre Smith. First free throw is no good. And just a final reminder as we will let the final 31 seconds unfold. Still 2 more games coming up. In just about 10-15 minutes time, we will have CTA and SJK, and then thereafter, shortly thereafter, we will have our final game of the evening at TBA and LBA. There's a time count violation. And here's Muntu. He will inbound, gets it over to McGee. McGee. Less than 20. Shot clock is off, and McGee turns the corner, hoists up a triple short. Thomas will let it go out of bounds, and that'll just about do it. Crestwood Prep is going to dribble it out. Well, Halifax Prep might not let him. They're going to apply some pressure here. As the clock winds down, it's going to be a perfect 4-0 week for Crestwood Prep. Trayvon Thomas dribbling it out. And that is the game. Jacoby Neath, Franco Miller, Kobe Antwi. Three-headed monster that has paced this Crestwood Prep team. They didn't need to do much work in this one. Had the opportunity to sit that fourth quarter, rest up. Crestwood victorious, 105-67. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to have CTA, SJK. The New Year Challenge continues.